In the heart of war-torn France, as cities crumbled and hope faded, a young girl emerged, not from nobility, not from a battlefield, but from a quiet village in the countryside. Her name was Joan of Arc. Born around 1412 in Domremy, a small village in eastern France, Joan was the daughter of peasant farmers. She couldn't read. She couldn't write. And yet, by the age of 13, she claimed to hear voices, divine voices, urging her to take on an impossible task, to save France from destruction. The 100 Years' War had ravaged the land for decades. England and France were locked in a brutal struggle for power, and the French crown was hanging by a thread. The voices told Joan to find the Dauphin, the uncrowned King Charles VII, and lead his armies into battle. She obeyed. At 17, dressed in armor and riding on horseback, Joan arrived at the royal court. There, she made a bold prophecy and won the Dauphin's trust. Against all odds, the crown entrusted her, this teenage peasant girl, with command of the French army. And then, the impossible happened. Under Joan's leadership, the French lifted the siege of Orleans. Her presence on the battlefield was electric, fearless, driven, and guided by faith. Soldiers believed in her. The people hailed her as a messenger of God. In just a few short months, Joan led Charles VII to Reims, where he was crowned king. France began to rise from the ashes. But her meteoric ascent made her enemies nervous. In 1430, Joan was captured by the Burgundians and handed over to the English. She was imprisoned, interrogated, and put on trial, not for treason, but for heresy. She stood accused of witchcraft, of dressing as a man, of claiming divine visions. And despite her eloquence and courage, the verdict was predetermined. At just 19 years old, Joan was burned at the stake in the marketplace of Rouen. Her last word was Jesus. She died branded a heretic. But history would tell a different story. 25 years later, the church reopened her case and cleared her name. And in 1920, nearly 5 centuries after her death, she was declared a saint. Today, Joan of Arc stands as a symbol, not just of France, but of unwavering conviction. Of faith in the face of fear. Of courage born not from power, but from purpose. She was a girl who heard voices and changed history.